Hey everyone, today I'm going to be talking about dot point 2.5 of the Blueprint of Life HSC Biology syllabus. This dot point requires us to distinguish between the terms allele and gene using examples. So firstly, what's an allele? Now an allele is an alternate characteristic of a gene. So what you can actually say about alleles is that they are inside, or they're on the chromosome, but they're not actually the gene. So like they're not the thing that determines what the gene is. So in this dot point, since it only asks us to distinguish between, we don't actually need to know any definitions. But it is good to know what the general concept is. So I'm going to give a little general definition for this. An allele is an alternate form of the gene on the chromosome. Now, since you know that, we should be able to differentiate. Now, even if you don't, my examples should help you out, and these examples are pretty much all you need to know for this dot point. Just, they might ask you some stuff like, this is, what is this? Is the gene or an allele? And you have to distinguish what they are. So, pay close attention to what an allele is and what a gene is when I differentiate them. So, for example, someone can have an allele that codes for straight and curly hair. However, the gene in this example is the hair type. So we're looking at like the parent cause, or like the main thing, and that's our gene. So now I'm going to give you another example. Suppose that there are two possible characteristics that you could get. You could either get short hair or long hair. Now ask yourself, what are these two characteristics? Are these genes or are these alleles? Well, just to let you know, these are alleles. Okay, cool. Now, what's the gene then? If these aren't the genes, then what's the gene? If these are the alleles, what's the gene? That's a good question. So what we can do is that we can show you that the gene is like the parent cause, and that gene is going to be hair length. Now, this is the main gene, and this determines, and the characteristics inside this gene, the alleles, determine whether or not you have short or long hair. The factors that can result from this gene are pretty much the alleles. So, if there's if there's the majority of alleles are for long hair dominant, then you're going to come up with long hair, but that's not the actual gene. The gene is the hair length. So that's what you should be able to differentiate between. Let's go through another example. So suppose that someone was tall. Yes, a very tall person. Let's just say he's very tall and he's also happy. So there's an allele for being tall. And there's a person who is short. He's sad because he's short, and who likes being short? So that's short. And then finally, I want you to think of what gene does this fall into. Like, we've just described the characteristics of this gene, or what could happen. They could either be tall or short. The actual alleles are these. So these are the alleles. Now, what is the gene? Now, just have a little think, and then just think about it. If you already know the answer, then this should be fine for you. If you don't, then think about it again. So, the answer to this, the genes for this would be height. So, the gene is height, but the alleles are whether or not you are tall or short. The two characteristics, so like the sub-factors of this gene, what could actually happen? That's what the alleles are. So I want you, as your own task, to create two more examples with, a clear indication of what an allele is and what a gene is, and what the difference is between these two. So as I've said in these two examples already here, this should aid you in creating your own. There are 1,000 things that you could test inside the body, and you could figure out whether it's a gene or an allele. So like I'll give you some quick examples right now. So like for example, what color eyes you have. the alleles for that would be either or not you have like brown eyes, blue eyes, black eyes, green eyes, and the gene for that would be eye color, since it's like the parent, which says like, what is the actual sub-factors of this gene? What could you possibly get? So that should be a small summary of what we just went through today, and I really hope that this helps you, and hope you watch my newer videos. Thank you.